Yes, I had an automobile accident October the 26th, 2009. A girl ran in the back of us, drove us in the highway, and we could have been killed. And then I had a fracture, wore a collar for 8 weeks, and therapy for 2 months. That's why I'm doing this today.
And did your driving change at all after that accident?
Yes, I'm aware that not to get too close to another car. And some drivers, they do get close to aggressive driving and motorcycles and, let's see, cell phones especially.
Can you talk about that for us?
Well, you see a lot of these people on cell phones and driving. They could be looking at papers and driving with the cell phones. And want me to read this off?
Sure.
Okay, bike riders against traffic.
Okay, can you talk about that a little bit to me?
Well, you see a lot of the people walking too close to traffic, you know. You have bike riders and aggressive driving is another one. And then talking on cell phones. And cars are too close to you at a red light and following too close.
Yeah, well, I ran into a deer over on Route 1, just north of the Dover exit, and that made me decide not to drive at night as much as I possibly could avoid it.
What do you think that other drivers could learn from this experience?
From that experience?
Would you say that other drivers should maybe...
Well, I don't think there's much you can do about running into a deer, but I think maybe seniors might consider doing less driving at night, you know.
Assess your driving?
No.
Did you have any accidents?
No.
No. So what made you decide to stop driving?
Well, when I started having my children, I quit. But I just didn't want to drive no more. So I give it up. The license wasn't too high. Back then it went, I think, it was about $10. So I said, forget it.
So how do you get around now that you don't drive?
I ride the dark bus, and then I ride the center bus.
Can you tell us about those bus systems?
Oh, they are good transportation, and all the drivers are just as polite and just as nice as they can be.
Yes, 2 weeks ago, I was going to see a doctor in Paola, Pennsylvania, and I was on Route 95. I was looking for 202, and there was a sign that said, I thought it said 202, so I took it. I ended up almost at the Philadelphia airport. It took me almost an hour to get back on Route 202. Terrible experience. That sign, I think, indicated I should have been in the right lane, but I went all the way to the right. It was awful. Finally got the doctor an hour late, but I called up and told him, I said, well, take your time and make sure you get there safely. But that was an experience I'll never forget. A very, very unpleasant one.
Has your driving changed at all since then?
No, I just have to watch for signs. And I guess I was going a little bit too fast to really comprehend what that sign told me. So that was just an experience I can relate to.
No, I can't think of anything. I mean, it hasn't changed my driving habits. Like I told Ruth when she came and asked us if we like, you know, to sit in on an interview, I told her that, or if we had anything bad or good to say about Delta, you know, and I said, well, one thing I want to say is that the way you take care of the roads. I mean, my sister was here. I mean, I was in the Navy for 21 years, and I traveled all over the world when I worked for the federal government. This is the first place I've ever lived that took such good care of the roads. And my sister was here from Pennsylvania a couple of years ago, and she mentioned that. She said she couldn't believe how nice they took care of the roads. And, you know, even in the wintertime, you know, now they're doing the maintenance, fixing up all the holes in the wintertime. Of course, you know, when we had all that 3 foot of snow, 2 back to back, you know, there ain't a whole lot you can do with all that snow. They did a good job. They did what they had to do. But as far as driving changing, I haven't changed anything in my driving. I haven't had any experiences that made me change my driving, so that was your main question. So.
I was driving in Philadelphia, and I used to live in Jersey and Northeast Philly, and I was doing good until I had surgery on my knees, on both of them. And when I was driving one day, and I got it driving down, you know, the street, and my knees just locked up, and the car wouldn't move, and I couldn't move, and so after 10 minutes, I started back to driving. Then it happened again. So then I went to the doctor, and he said, well, no, you could cause accident and stuff like that. So that's why I don't drive anymore. So, and that was in 07.
Okay, so you haven't driven in Delaware at all?
No, I don't want to take no chances. Because they still lock up on me sometimes, so I haven't driven in Delaware, only in Philadelphia.
So now that you're not driving around here, how do you get around?
Well, sometimes I live with my son and his wife and my 3 grandchildren now, because 2 left. And they take me, either I get the DART bus. I like DART. And when I go to the doctor, I get Generations. In the back here, they take me to the doctor. And
can you tell us about your experiences with the DART bus?
Oh, it's nice, but it's nice, but you got to make sure you book your appointments earlier, because you will get there late, but they do come. But so just like you have to be there at 2 o'clock, so you want to be picked up at 12:30 to get there. But they good. I like them.
Not really. Probably some of the people that I see driving, I would like to give them a point or two. But no, I think I came up at a good time. Maybe had one warning in my lifetime for speeding, or supposedly speeding, in a suburb of a town. But other than that, I have never had any problems.